What's poppin' knights? It's Uzumaki, otherwise known as the King, and I come to you with another exciting part 2. What if the Uzumaki clan survived? And before we get into it, I just want to say, I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I hope your New Year's is gonna go swell. I'm gonna try to have this out the day of New Year's, so hopefully everything works out in time. The next parts are on the way. Already got them written. I had a little bit of writer's block with the next Avatar one, but you know what? I settled it. I figured it out, and I know I want to go with it. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna change the story up a bunch. I was gonna say a butt ton, but you know what? I can't swear. So, before any further ado, I think that I've talked your ears off long enough. So let's get into it. Whew. Last time, Team 7 arrived on the scene to aid against Orochimaru and the past Hokage, and all was looking well. But if you back a snake into a corner, it strikes, looking for his opportunity to flee, as our heroes quickly found out. When the snake Orochimaru attacks Nozumi, she was protected by Itachi, who was fatally wounded by the Sword of Grasses. As Orochimaru flees through the bloodshed, Naruto loses control, going on a rampage, only to be stopped by Fugaku. Now, they have to aid in the repair of the village. Let's go. Didn't snap.
Whoa. I'm about to go call me a brick, crushing your whole little shit. Whoa. Mars so cold, I pull up on cop with the blow. Now I'm like, whoa. She a brick on the low, now she want suck on my toes. And I'm like, whoa. You a bummy asshole, now you want sit on my throat. Nope. Bitch, I'm the king in the house so cold. Pull up on a nigga with the 9-0 coat. Spray air, patch at the picture go. Kill me a nigga with a Bible poem. She say stop, don't go no more. Well, she my queen, can't treat her wrong. We don't fuck on, we just run on like my dog, bro. We don't slow up. Rundy, now she wanna fuck me, now she wanna hold me down like a Duffy. I can see her, I can see her. My Sharingan don't let me run. I'm a demon, I'm a beast, no I can't stop. I'll spray, hey, whoa, hey, bustin' the king of this shit.
Naruto was on the ground, using his Fuingan to aid in recovery alongside Fugaku, who's using his Susanoo to remove rubble. When Sasuke arrives, his head is bandaged up, and Naruto asks, what happened? To which the boy just scoffs and retort, forcing his father to explain. Unlike you, Uzumaki, ninja have a finite amount of chakra, and Sasuke used a lot. He awakened his Mangekyo at such an early age. He needs time to train and fully utilize the power. But he and Itachi are the pride of the Uchiha. Sasuke tries to smile, but he can't, as all three go silent at the thought of Itachi and Nozumi. Sasuke had to help each of them to their hospital bed, while Fugaku is worried about his son. He's concerned for his brother in arms, Shinjiro, whose only child was in danger, and he couldn't move. As a father, he knows what's running through his head. As all three hear a cry for help, it was a child crying for his mother, bringing them back to reality. The three rush out and continue to help, while Shinjiro and Akane look over Minato, and they reach a conclusion. She stops performing her medical ninjutsu as the village elders Jiraiya and Danzo walk into the room. She takes a deep breath. It's not looking good. I would prefer to have him just bite me and nullify the pain, but his jaw has to be set first. I performed immediate medical ninjutsu, but his bones in his arm are shattered, and his spinal column was sliced vertically. It's a miracle he hasn't died of blood loss or shock, but it's obvious to me that Minato and that boy, Lee, they need surgery, more than what I could do alone. And they don't have much time before the surgery does more harm than good. After hearing this, Jiraiya just stares at his student, his son, mortified as Minato coughs up blood. The room is shocked as Minato says in a pained and shrill, hoarse voice, Jiraiya, are you there? Akane screams at him, don't talk, idiot! Your jaw was just set back in place. You could agitate the suture. Minato smiles while dripping blood down his lips as Akane sighs, as she leans over for him to bite her. Jesus, why was that so hard to say? All right, back to the story. Fine, if you insist on talking, bite down first. My chakra can help heal and deal with the pain. God, you're a dumbass. I don't really know how my cousin dealt with you. Minato apologizes and says thank you as he bites down on her arm. She tries to hold her blushing, so she looks at the wall and Minato thinks she is avoiding eye contact because she hates him. As Minato is finished, he thanks Akane again and she begins to tear up as she walks out the room, stating, Just stop making me worry. And your son. So, I'm gonna go check on the other patients. I'll be back in a few. Minato watches as she leaves, and Jiraiya sits down on the chair next to him. As Minato speaks, Jiraiya, I can't feel my legs. I don't know. If I don't get better, I need you to promise me you'll take care of Naruto. Jiraiya mumbles, but he then forces a smile. Oh, don't you worry, oh student of mine. You remember Tsunade, right? She's the best medical ninja I know. She'll get you back on your feet, and in the meantime, you needn't worry about Naruto. I'll keep your kids safe. Danzo scoffs as he interjects. Tsunade, that drunk old crone. I doubt she'll be as able to help anyone. Jiraiya's about to stand up, but Shinjiro places his hand on Jiraiya's shoulders as he looks Danzo in the eyes. Funny, someone like you calling anyone else useless. I didn't take you for a comedian, Danzo. Because not once did I see any of your Anbu mobilized. Where was the Foundation during that attack? Danzo scoffs. And Shinjiro, I didn't take you for a fool. My Anbu work best in shadows. As we speak, my Anbu are tailing Orochimaru, and will soon have his location. If Itachi and Kakashi were still under my command, Orochimaru wouldn't have even been able to issue this attack. Speaking of which, where is Hatake? Minato groans. He's investigating the Akatsuki and the incident with the fox from 12 years ago, with the aid of Shisui. The elders speak. And why weren't we informed of this? Why must we constantly get our information from Danzo? As I see it, he's more fit of the title of Hokage than you, especially now. Jiraiya stands. Lord Second put Hiruzen in charge for a reason, and Hiruzen put his faith in Minato. His judgment is thanks, and through his judgment, we avoided civil war between the Uchiha. For you even to think of speaking this way is no less than treason. The female elder speaks up. Enough of this bravado. It's time to speak at the matter of hand. We need a Hokage to stand in for Minato. The leaf cannot appear weak to any potential threat. And Jiraiya, I recommend you. Jiraiya politely declines, saying, the Hokage life ain't for me. Minato has two aides far more suited to the job than myself. It will be short-sighted to choose anyone other than those two. Besides, I'm taking Naruto on a mission outside of the village, soon. Danzo scoffs. I agree that Jiraiya isn't the best choice, but Shinjiro is a child in a man's body who can barely handle paperwork. Do you think he would be a good fit? Shinjiro smiles. You know, for once, Danzo, I actually agree with you. I can't stand paperwork. I love having free time to spend with my family. You know, that thing you don't have? And the fear of possibly sending young, untrained ninja to their deaths or war makes me sick. But Fugaku was basically made for the job. I recommend him. Jiraiya seconds that and supports Fugaku. And Minato, who's fading in and out of consciousness, thirds. While the elders hesitate, giving Danzo control over the room. Fugaku, you fools can't be serious. The people will not accept an Uchiha. Meanwhile, Fugaku, Naruto, and Sasuke continue to save the Leaf citizens, while they meet up with Lord Third, and they gather the citizens who are actually angry. As they yell, what was this, Lord Third? We expect protection. The Leaf was supposed to be strong, right? But ever since Minato became the Hokage, it's disaster after disaster. First, the demon fox destroying the village. Then he forces that cursed child, that brat, to live among us. And now this, it's just too much, Lord Third. Hiruzen tries to speak, but he can't. Everything they said is true, but they're blaming Minato for his decision. He said they need to keep the fox in the village. He was the one who suggested Naruto to be the Jinchuriki, against Kushina's wishes. Yet they vilify Minato and his family? That's when Fugaku yells, people of the Leaf, I am Fugaku Uchiha, and I have been working in close proximity with the Hokage Minato. And with him, we maintained peace and freedom inside the leaf. And throughout that time, I watched Minato through a judgmental eye, much like all of you. And I've seen nothing that disproves him as a man of character. He single-handedly stopped civil war from affecting the lives of everyone. Minato has and will continue to sacrifice everything important to him for the sake of the leaf, much like he did when he placed his fox inside of his own son, who has grown into a splendid ninja. Naruto, his heart is much like his father. It bleeds for Konoha. If you wish to direct your anger at anyone, I plead that you do not focus it on Minato and his family, who have given you so much. Instead, turn that anger into hope. For all of us shall inherit his will of fire. Starting today, we will move forward and rebuild. And you have my word, on my honor and pride as an Uchiha, and more so, as one who has worked close with the Hokage, that you and your family will be safe as we continue to bring peace to the entire ninja world. As Fugaku finishes, the crowd cheers as they move on to help recovery. And Nozumi wakes up in her hospital bed, reeling in pain. Her vision is blurry, so she tries to activate her Sharingan, and her eyes burn as her headache worsens. But the pain reminds her of why she's here. In the hospital, she winces as she falls out of bed, and she tries to stand up, but her headache worsens and it causes her to lean her weight against the wall just to stand up. As she gathers her bearings, she struggles to see, but she can't afford to wait. She has to check on him. It's her fault she's here. It's her fault he's here. She hobbles down the hall, each step feeling like an eternity. As she desperately pulls herself forward, passing a room, she stares at the door tag, trying to read the name, but the words jumble around. She closes her eyes and tries to feel the braille, as she's seen her mother do, but she's never paid attention before, so she can't do it. She can't see. She can't walk. She can barely stand. And her head feels like an unrelenting earthquake. She can only cry. So she does, uncontrollably, feeling helpless and frustrated with herself for being weak. Her wails of pain turn to exasperated breaths, beginning to hyperventilate. When her mother hears her daughter having a panic attack, she runs and holds her tight. Feeling comforted, she calms down. Feeling exhausted, all she can do is vaguely see the outline of her mom's purple hair slowly coming into focus as she tells her mom, "Mama, I can't see. My eyes burn like crazy, my head hurts, and I can barely stand up." Nozumi's mother, Naori, holds her daughter tightly as she attempts to reassure her daughter, stating, "I don't know everything you went through, but it sounds like a lot. And you have so much in your head swirling around. Honey, I think you just need rest." She begins to rub her head, bringing Nozumi to relax. But as she falls asleep, the warmth of her tears on her face remind her of the blood of Itachi as it ran down her cheek. The scene plays out before her eyes as she watches the blade ripping through Itachi's gut. He falls limp on the floor, and she wakes up screaming Itachi's name. She starts to hyperventilate again before her mother grabs her and yells, "Itachi's okay. He's not dead." Nozumi calms down and she says, "Are you sure?" Naori doesn't respond. She just lifts her daughter's hands and pulls her to the room where Itachi is. As they open the door, Nozumi takes a deep breath. And they walk in the room to see Itachi. Her vision is still foggy. It grows clearer as she takes each step toward him. She begins to tear up as she sees Itachi, unconscious, lying in his bed. She walks over to him, places her hand on his chest. She can feel that he's still breathing. As Naori speaks, "I healed him the best I could, but It seems the blade that stabbed him was poisoned, and we don't have enough medical ninja strong enough to take out the poison without causing lasting nerve damage. He'll live, but now that you see it, Nozumi, do you think you can rep? As she walks over to the bed to check on her daughter and Itachi, Nozumi had fallen asleep, resting her head on Itachi's chest. Nayori grabs a blanket and covers her daughter and gently kisses her on the forehead and sweetly says sweet dreams, as she then walks over to Itachi and kisses him on the forehead and thanks him for being such a good teacher to his daughter. She walks out of the room to find Shinjiro, who she can hear yelling down the hall as he roars at Danzo. You know, I knew you were a low-life scum, but for you to even speak that way, after all the work the Uchiha have done to release that stigma and hatred, especially thanks to the efforts of Fugaku and Nayori, the only reason that bigotry still exists is because old farts like you propagate it. Danzo scoffs. All that power and intelligence, and you're still a child, Shinjiro. Your naivety clouds your judgment. A few years cannot eradicate a decade of the bloody lust for power that the Uchiha have shown. Minato groans in pain as Nayori walks into the room. She speaks. I can hear you from all the way down the hall, and it's obvious Lord Minato needs rest. So can you all please exit the room? Nayori then bows to Danzo and the elders as she continues to speak. But, if I may be so bold to incline, if you are concerned how the people will feel, why not ask the citizens of the Leaf and hold it up to discussion? The elders look at each other and nod. As they leave, Danzo follows, and Jiraiya leaves to find Naruto. But, as they go, Minato's kunai starts to vibrate. Shinjiro can see that this is the Flying Raijin. He grabs it and activates the jutsu, and it summons Shinjiro and Kakashi. They appear, and Shisui speaks. Lord Minato, you looked better. Seeing the Minato in the hospital bed, Minato forces a smile. And it's good to see you too. Shinjiro takes control of the conversation. Enough of that. What have you found? Kakashi speaks. We've traced all Akatsuki action to the Land of Rain, but the trail runs cold there. It's clear to me that Obito's ability to use some sort of localized teleportation is thanks to his Mangekyo Sharingan. I would like to return to the village to train under Lord Fugaku, to better utilize my own Sharingan, so I can continue the mission, sir. Minato coughs. Well, that might be hard, seeing as how I'm out of commission, and I'm positive Fugaku's gonna be the next Hokage in my stead. Shisui jumps up yelling, really? Shinjiro laughs. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. The village's first Uchiha Hokage. We're truly making history on this dark day. Kakashi stands up asking, Dark day, what happened? And Shinjiro solemnly says, the village was attacked by Orochimaru and the Cloud. Minato fought off Orochimaru and the reanimated first and second, as well as capturing the Raikage and his aides. But I doubt we'll hold them for long, seeing as how we want to avoid any further damage and complications. And Minato speaks. Kakashi, Shisui. The two boys bow and yell, Sir. I want you two to be present with the interrogation of the Raikage. He knows something about Obito. Figure out what you can. They nod and they head out, and Jiraiya lands in front of Naruto and Fugaku and Sasuke as Jiraiya speaks. Fugaku, you're wanted in the Hokage's office. You're most likely going to be Konoha's next Kage, while Minato is out of commission. So I need you to assign Naruto and Sasuke to a mission to retrieve Tsunade. We need her help to heal up all the injured. That includes Minato and Itachi. He then looks at the children and says, you two head home and get some rest. We leave early tomorrow. As Fugaku leaves. Jesus names. Naruto and Sasuke look at each other. But what about Nozumi? We're a team. We don't leave without her. Jiraiya rubs the two boys' heads and tells them, time is of the essence right now, and she's still in recovery. Akane says the two dojutsu in her head are at war. Sasuke questions, what do you mean? Jiraiya takes a knee, getting down to the boys' level, looking them in the eyes as he explains. Their question with a question. Sasuke, how does the genetic dojutsu of the Sharingan improve? Sasuke closes his eyes as he recollects the information. One must experience intense emotions, feelings like fear, regret, pain, loss, and in some rare cases, anticipation. That's how Itachi says it can get stronger. Jiraiya then turns to Naruto as he asks a similar question. And Naruto, how does the manufactured dojutsu, the Fuingan, improve? Naruto closes his eyes, recollecting the information. One must have true acceptance of themselves. The power comes from a sound soul and a calm mind. Emotions outside the norm of that person agitate the seal and dispel the dojutsu. The two then open their eyes, revealing their respective dojutsu. Sasuke, the Sharingan, and Naruto, the Fuingan. Jiraiya then stands up as he continues to explain. Now, usually Naruto, that would be true, but those deep emotions of fear, hatred, pain, loss, those are hardwired in the DNA of every Uchiha to make it easier for them to activate their dojutsu out of self-preservation. It's a blessing and a curse. The Uchiha are a clan where love runs deep, but so does the pain that comes attached with that love when it's lost. Nozumi's genetics as an Uchiha are fighting against the seal on her brain, limiting her emotions. And the Uzumaki blood is actively repairing the seal. She has to find peace between her Uchiha and Uzumaki blood, or she risks losing her mind. The two look at each other and wonder, as if there's anything they can do. Jiraiya tells the two that, as they are now, no, there's nothing. But when she's ready, I told her parents that she needs to learn meditation. It'll help her maintain that balance within herself. And I'd be more than willing to instruct her, but she can barely stand as it says. The two look down, but that's before Sasuke looks up and says that they will be coming on the mission, and Nozumi will be joining them. Naruto and Sasuke then head towards the hospital. As they reach the doors, they are stopped by Karin. As she jumps on Sasuke's back and gives Naruto a high five, Naruto smiles, saying, "Hey, cuz, you're looking better than before." She responds back, "That's my line. I've never seen you that angry before, Naruto. You really had me and Hinata worried." Naruto apologizes, and Sasuke grows more frustrated, yelling for Karin to get off. She blushes and lets go, saying, Sorry about that, Sasuke, but I was just thinking about ways to pay you back for comforting me when I was freaking out earlier. Back at the Chunin exams. When you carried me to the ER. Sasuke scoffs, saying don't worry about it. They've always been close, they're friends, so it's nothing. Karin pouts, but Naruto asks what she's doing here, and she tells him that her and Hinata were checking on Nozumi, but she's still asleep. Naruto smiles. Oh, that's why they're here. As they walk forward, Sasuke and Naruto stumble and fall on their face, and Karin panics, but Akane comes running down, saying what the hell's going on. As she sees Sasuke and Naruto passed out on the floor, she sighs as she exclaims, "Girl, calm down. The two idiots are just exhausted. They haven't rested yet since their fights. Take them to Itachi's room." Her medical assistants lift the two boys up, and now all of Team 7 is together again, while Akane walks up to check on them. Her daughter is beside her. They check Naruto's vitals, and he's basically healed already, thanks to the fox. They then head to Sasuke, and Karin starts to blush as Akane smiles. As they check his vitals, they notice that his chakra is dangerously low. Karin asks, is there anything that they can do? And she smiles. You could always let them bite you. She blushes, screaming, what? Her mother sighs, keep your voice down, they're sleeping. Listen, among the Uzumaki, the women in our family are special. We can restore others' chakra by letting them suck out some of ours. But this is a truly special ability. If too many people know about it, you're going to be targeted. So only let people you can trust know. So, let me ask you this, Karin. Do you trust that boy? Karin nods immediately, saying yes. She trusts everyone in that room. She grew up alongside them. Itachi, Sasuke, Nozumi, Naruto. There's not a person in there that she doesn't trust. Her mother then nods, telling her to head over to Sasuke and wake him up. As she does, she tells Sasuke to bite her. He is confused, still groggy from just being woken up. She begins to roll up her sleeve while Sasuke just bites down on her shoulder. Karin was surprised. She yelps out but covers her mouth not to wake up the others. She starts to blush as she places her hand on Sasuke's head, stroking his hair. But as Sasuke starts to wake up from the comforting feeling, Karin asks, are you feeling better, Sasuke? He opens his eyes and backs off quickly, saying, what the hell are you doing? She covers his shoulder and gets up and punches him on the cheek. I was giving you chakra. You could at least say thanks. Sasuke looks at his hands and he can feel his power return. As he says thanks you, she blushes and nervously says, hey, if you ever need any more chakra, let me know. Sasuke asks her to speak up. He can't hear her. She blushes further, turning redder than her hair, saying, it was nothing. Now we're even. She then leaves the room, and Akane tells Sasuke, listen, I had to wake you up for 2 reasons. 1, yes, you desperately needed chakra. 2, I know that you and Naruto are here to try and take Nozumi. Trying to get her to leave before she's ready. And I won't stop you because I know I can't. You're all stubborn children. But when she does go with you, tell her not to use her dojutsu. I'm going to take my daughter home now. Get some rest, dumbasses. She leaves the room, and Sasuke tries to wake up Nozumi, but she was already awake, staring at him with a bright red face, feeling embarrassed just watching everything that went on. Sasuke scoffs, what are you looking at, weirdo? She shakes her head, saying nothing. Sasuke sighs, well, you heard her. We're going on a mission. Jiraiya is going to take us to find a medical ninja to help Akane perform surgery on Minato and Itachi. You in? She smiles, holding her fist to the sky. Of course I'm in. Sasuke stares at her. And you did hear her when she said no dojutsu, right? Her smile fades. Yeah, I know. I have to figure something out. But I won't be left behind. And that's where we're going to end it here. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What you rate it? If you heard arguing in the background, I'm sorry about that. It's because I'm at my mom's. I hope it's not serious, to be honest with you. I kind of want this one to work out for my mom. If it doesn't, man, I mean, my brothers, we're used to it by now, but it sucks seeing your mom hurt. Damn, I don't want to get personal here. Okay. But other than that, that's done. Happy New Year's. If I got to stop by New Year's. If I didn't get out by New Year's, happy belated New Year's. One thing I do want to say before I get into the commenter call outs is whatever your New Year's resolution is, and you should make one. It's not that it's important. It's important to hold yourself to a standard. Whenever you say you're going to do something, make sure you have that goal in the back of your mind and you do it. Because just wishing for it ain't going to change shiz nasty. Don't want to cuss. It's not going to change anything. Just saying that you want stuff to be different, saying that you want stuff to be better is not going to fix the issue. So say what you're going to get, say what you want to get, and get it done. If you want to start a goddamn YouTube channel, start a YouTube channel. If you want to make some money, make some money. Put in the work and the effort to do that stuff. because I know you can. If no one else, if you really think that no one believes in you, I want you to understand that you're wrong, because I do. And oh my God, they're about to argue again. No comment to call out because I don't want to edit that out. Hope you're having a lovely day. Love all your beautiful faces. Oh no, Kage, out. Peace.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. If you run the homie, gonna get smoked. No time for the lame ass jokes. I'm the GOAT. You a gringo when that story's been told. I make money moves, controlling every view. Oh no, you got hella proof, but no one's helping you. What's wrong? Now you on your own, you really want to smoke. Oh no, Chico really done it wrong. What's wrong? The hollow matter in the sky, bro. Keep talking crazy, I might go post though. Always trouble when they go too far. Nobody mess with me familiar. Father.